If you're a person who feels like you have not been able to be your true self for any reason, well, sometimes you can just choose to do something else. And I'm a living, breathing, walking example of doing that.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good afternoon, Craig Lewis. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful afternoon?
I'm doing wonderful on this beautiful morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, morning. Where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Northern California at the moment.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. California is, I think the last couple of episodes, right? I'm in California, right? Just got off of one guy in LA. So tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Brother, the truth is I am an expert at surviving the impossible.
Tell me more, please.
Well, I have transcended, or I am actively transcending things that would take down most human beings. And I recognize that. And thus, my decision personally is to devote myself to my happiness, my peace, and to do good in the world, to help others. So that right there frames my view of how I live and what I do.
Wow. So what encouraged you to take this change? Or was this something you've always been doing? Or was it an enlightenment that you got recently?
Well, I survived decades of unusual and severe abuse. And upon finding out that ain't no one going to save my butt, no matter what happened to me, it was up to me to choose to walk the path that I was born to live. And thus, I went through the burning down of my life with a bit of a smile on my face that's now increased, if you will. And then I just take that bull by the horns and do all I can to rock and roll and kick butt.
Well, congratulations. You know, when I saw the email address, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Punks in Recovery, right?
I'm fun. I hope to be fun. I hope to be more fun in the future.
Well, you're going around, though. You're spreading the word, right? Expressing what you've challenges with and how other people can, as you said, transcend, right?
If I connect with other people and find a common ground that we can build something upon or from, that allows my life to perpetuate. It allows what happened to me to not define me in a negative way. And in other words, it allows me to define what happened to me in a forward-moving, growth, learning, educational way, which helps other people realize that they too can do something similar. And we're surrounded by hundreds of millions of people in this world, or billions, if you will, who don't necessarily know that the things that are happening to them and the abuses that they faced, they don't have to be the end. It can actually be the beginning. Yeah, that's how I live. That's what I'm doing when I travel.
No, that's courage, right? You're talking about courage and being courageous. Who did you learn that from? Is there someone in your family that held that similar type go forth and conquer attitude?
No, it's my family who, by doing horrible things to me, left me in positions and situations where I felt that I had no choice other than to save myself. So that's where I learned that from. So I guess we could say my family taught me by doing the opposite of teaching me how to be the good man I am today, or the good man that I'm striving to be.
Yeah, it's like the two models of learning, right? You can learn from someone who is doing something, or you can learn from someone who's done something that you should not do. The choice comes down to you and your calling, doesn't it? Would you say that's accurate?
I'd say the choice is more important than what you do or how you do it, because the choice is like a catalytic point that as long as you're at 50.01%, meaning you've chosen to do something, you're closer to your success than you are to what they call failure. So why not just choose to do something?
Why will you continue on this path, my friend? It's definitely one of the, it's not the most traveled path, right?
Well, I didn't choose this. To be clear, this kind of happened as a result of like watching and experiencing my life burn down and not having what I need to fix it. So why would I continue this? Well, because I don't know what else to do, number one. But more importantly, because I'm good at it. I'm good at helping other people figure out how to help themselves and to see things within themselves that maybe they have a hard time seeing, and to feel validated that they can actually do something about whatever it is going on in their life and have a better life, the life they were born to live. So I'm good at this. And even though like I have experienced my life burn to the ground, I self-identify as that's what happened to me because that's how I feel. I'm good at helping others figure this out for themselves. And that brings amazing, beautiful people into my life, and it creates opportunities, endless opportunities that I otherwise would not necessarily have. So that is the answer to your question.
For those listening, where's the best place for them to connect with you, those that desire that type of assistance?
I have a website that's in the works right now, and by the time this gets posted, I'm certain it's going to be up, and that URL is sanityisafulltimejob.org.
Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
The only thing that I've been able to do throughout my life that's consistent, and it's my saving grace, and I know it, and it's allowed me to be here today with you, is by adhering to walking an honorable path. That is what I've had to do to be okay. That's the answer.
How does it make you feel?
Free.
Why would you suggest other people that are listening do that?
Because in defiance of every horrific thing I've experienced in my life, I'm awesome, and my life's amazing. And it's awesome and amazing to live a life of defiance of everything that happened to you. And if you're a person who feels like you have not been able to be your true self for any reason, well, sometimes you can just choose to do something else. And I'm a living, breathing, walking example of doing that.
Now, you were in Europe recently, right? Like speaking to individuals. I think I saw that. Did I see correctly? There's so much content online.
Your eyes did not deceive you.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw you speaking to a group of men in there. And, I want to say thank you because many people do not go the distance that they can to help others. But you're doing it. And, of course, you're sheltering your challenges in the midst of it. And you continuing to help others. So thank you for that.
Thank you for that acknowledgement. It means a lot to me. Yeah, actually, right now it does in particular. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Well, let's switch gears for a moment. Now, let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Craig, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Well, I'm going to think about that beautiful blue Caribbean water because at one point in my life, I've swam in it. And so when I tell you about the not so beautiful water that my earliest childhood memory existed in, please forgive me. So my earliest childhood memory that I can remember is a distinct humorous anecdote, if you will. This is not common for me in my family experience. And I remember that when I was a kid, around 8 years old, perhaps, we went deep sea fishing in Quincy Bay in Massachusetts in the United States. And I had to pee, and I was a kid. And well, I wasn't very secure with myself, so I peed into the little coffee can that we had on the boat, whereas my dad, my cousin just peed off the side. And well, somehow, as I was depositing my urine, if you will, into the water, the wind took over, and I can't say it covered my father, but enough got on my father that he was not happy with me.
It is funny to revisit the memory from the perspective of what happened, right? I'm not guessing after. I'm talking about when the wind hit. How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
I view my father as a flawed human being. At least I can laugh about this because I can't laugh about much at all or find much joy and peace or anything good from how I grew up. And so the fact that you're asking me this question and I want to walk my path and do the right thing, that is accomplished by thinking in a certain way and putting myself forward in a certain way. It forces me to give this answer that I can think about all the not nice things, or I can think about that's a funny thing amidst many not funny things. And so right there and then I can rise myself up by identifying that there's a human being within my father and there's a human being within all people who have not been nice to me, but I don't have to necessarily
stop peeing in the wind.
Yeah, I can accept that these things happen to me, but I can also see that all human beings are flawed and we all do our best. And maybe that's a foundation with which I can heal and maybe show others that that's a possible thing to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Well, I'm a punk rocker. I became a punk rocker shortly after this, but this song is known to all punk rockers, at least from my era. Right. And it's not a punk rock song. No, probably people make fun of me for it, but that's okay. It's still the best. Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi was, when I was 12 years old, the song, 1986. And everyone in the world in 1986 knew that song, no matter what kind of music you liked. And even today, you can't go to anywhere in the world. I've traveled all over. You go to punk rock bars or you go to dance nights. That song's always played and everyone knows it, no matter what the language. And that right there, 12 years old, favorite song, secret, don't tell anybody. Even now, it's one of my favorite songs in the world. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Well, Craig, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Craig, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Every person I come in contact with, yes, my brother.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
As a matter of fact, for the first time in my life, I really feel that I can say that I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? More than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
More than 8.
All right. If you had to share with us, Craig, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Craig Lewis, what would you say that is?
My name is Craig Lewis, and I will not allow my suffering to be wasted.
Craig, this has been such a great pleasure. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, yeah, actually, thank you for that. I've having such a hard time the past few days, and I kind of got knocked down a little bit, and I was really concerned about coming on today and not being perceived as my truest self. And I just have to say, I feel so comfortable speaking with you, and you're truly a warm person, and I really needed that today. So I thank you for the opportunity to allow what I feel is my vulnerability, because I do feel pretty kind of knocked down a little bit, to sit here with you and rise up and do what I was born to do and do it with you for the right reasons. So to all the people out there, much love. And to you, my friend, much love. And thank you so much for the blessings that you brought to my life in this very moment. I truly needed them. So God bless you.
God bless you too, my friend. Mission accomplished. Craig Lewis, again, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.